Hello, everyone, and I welcome you all to today's exclusive podcast session on AI and the productivity paradox doing more without leaving people behind. I'm your host, Khushi, and I'm delighted to have you with us today. As AI becomes more deeply embedded in our digital world, the definition of a modern application is rapidly evolving. Developers are no longer just writing code, they are building intelligent systems that learn, adapt, and scale. From predictive features to personalized user experiences, we are witnessing a fundamental shift in how applications are conceived and delivered. So, in today's conversation, we will explore what it means to build truly intelligent applications, those that combine the power of AI, data, and cloud native architecture. We will discuss the changing role of developers in this AI first era, the tools and platforms enabling this evolution, and how teams can balance automation with control to drive real world impact. Our expert guest will also share practical strategies, real world use cases, and a look at the skills developers need to stay relevant as technology continues to accelerate. So let's step into this exciting conversation and explore how developers are shaping the future by building the next generation of smart, scalable, and AI powered applications. So without further delay, I would like to welcome our distinguished speaker for today's session. To facilitate the session, folks, please join me in welcoming Mr. Vasu Kothamasu. He is currently serving as the General Manager and Global Engineering Leader at Contentstack. His role involves innovating and delivering the best in customer experience platforms. With over 24 years of engineering and cloud integration expertise, he is passionate about building high performance, internationally distributed systems, developing innovative enterprise scale products. He started his career as a project engineer at Arvind Meritor and software engineer at I2 Technologies, working on supply chain planning and solving complex logistics optimization for customers. As a tech trend spotter, he is passionate about driving innovation in large scale software product development, integration tech, and software as a service. He is also a proud owner of several significant patents to his name and has been published in prominent journals. It's such a pleasure having you, Asu, here with me today.
Thank you, Rishi. The pleasure is all mine. Thanks for having. This is going to be a wonderful conversation. Thank you.
Definitely, Vasu. So now, without further ado, I would like to get started. So to begin with the discussion ahead, Vasu, firstly, I would like to ask that, as you know, the productivity paradox has been around for years. But in today's AI era, what does it really mean?
Well, this is something that has been there for centuries. To be honest,
Right.
we had this when the industrial revolution has started. I'm sure we were not there, but then it is the same thing. When the computers came in, it was exactly the same thing. A lot of investment went in the digitalization, computer technology, and whatnot. That was exactly the same thing. Then, when the cloud transformation happened, exactly the same thing. This is where people want to do more with less, or same thing in less time. This is every CEO, every CFO wants to be more and more productive, wants to improve their profit shares or customer satisfaction, all these things. That's the reason it has been there. Earlier, with the other innovative technologies, even though it took off slowly, but it was easy to measure those productivity things. But AI has changed a lot of things. It's not anymore about the same level of inflation plus something else, but AI has the ability to change the productivity, in my opinion, more than 10 times, 10x. So usually whenever something is that exponential, it changes the rules of the game. It's not anymore the same rules that we follow where the companies are talking about 20% growth or 30% growth. It's much, 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 much more. But for AI also, it's exactly the same. The investment is a lot more and the use cases are extremely complex. But if you want to use the same processes and adapt to the same thing, then AI will not give you the same benefit. It will just be marginal. You want to redefine the use cases. You wanted to redo the thing, but you have the ability to do 10x. Absolutely 10x kind of a potential it has. And still the productivity gains and everything can be measured, but everybody is trying to figure out. But in my mind, that is not the only thing. There are two things that is happening with the AI. One is how effective and how the productivity gains can happen with the time and do it better. But there is also another aspect, unlike the industrial revolution or the cloud transformation or the computer usage and those things, there is a subtle thing that is going on that is about human capital and what do we do with how do we solve the problems better? How do we connect better? How do we empathize better? How do we use our time better? That is not quantifiable, in my opinion, right away. But it is still quantifiable. It's you and I, as human beings. If we are using this AI tooling, am I getting more time to myself to follow my passion? Can that be quantified with the productivity? No. But that's another important aspect. But it can still be quantified. I mean, if I'm more happier, can I quantify it? Yes, but not really. But that's the other aspect of the productivity paradox that AI brings in. And a lot of people do not really understand this aspect of AI. People are just worried about the bottom line, how much more money can I make? Can I deliver more with less? That is all everybody is focused on. That is given. That will happen. It's the same metrics, everything can be used, but this is another aspect of human capital and what needs to be done. There is one important thing as a person, I understand this, and everybody probably also realizes that is if we are not using a faculty a lot over a period of time, we lose it. We just lose it. If you are not exercising a muscle for a long period of time, the muscle dies. And this is where we need to understand about the paradox kind of a thing in this kind of AI world. The problem solving, the creativity, the imaginative power of human should all be there in spite of being more productive in using AI tools. So that's where I see the paradox in this current AI world, which little bit scary as well, to be honest. It is scary. We might lose some things that if we don't exercise continuously.
Right. And definitely, as you mentioned, that always considering and reiterating our actions according to this paradox is very essential moving forward. It's high time that we address this and make this a very addressable concern worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving forward, Vasu, as you see that faster does not always mean better. So how can AI help balance speed with keeping work meaningful and human?
Sure. Yeah, of course. Faster does not mean better, but there are also instances where faster means better. An F1 car, if it reaches the
Right.
pole faster, then it is faster. That's it.
Yeah.
So, but not necessarily everything faster means better.
Right.
What AI can help you is faster with the better quality.
Yeah.
That's what AI will always help. I'm an engineering leader, managed multiple products, multiple teams. I am leaning on very, very heavily on AI. I'm insisting with my teams that they use AI tooling, Copilot, GitHub Copilot, or Cursor to do the coding better and faster.
Yeah.
That's the faster part. But it does not mean that everything happens. They're still reviewing, they still have to review. You're still responsible for the code that you develop. I mean, even though you are using the tooling and everything, you're still responsible. So there are multiple ways of managing this balance. The first thing is you need to be using the right tools. And as part of that one, the right amount of tools and the right guardrails. So this is one part of the thing. The balance can also be obtained by making sure that you're using the tooling for the mundane tasks. AI is extremely good at doing the grunt work. So you should be able to do that offloading of these mundane tasks, like, for example, booking a calendar, booking your tickets, booking a taxi. Some of these things, I don't know if anybody enjoys doing these kind of things, actually. You can offload these things. AI can actually just like that take care of those things. This is one part of the thing where you can actually do that. just that busy stuff, right? You can actually get it out. And the other thing is, you should be able to use as a co-pilot, your assistant, to do better, be a better version of yourself. That's where you get the balance. And once you do that, right, magic happens. And that magic is you'll get the personal time to pursue whatever you want. In this world, everybody is worried about the time. Time is money, but time is also the element that cannot be obtained. You cannot create time. This is where, if you're using the right tooling, in the right quantity, in the right perspective, you can create that time and magic, and boom, you get to be more creative, you get to be more passionate, you get to spend time where you want to, like the problem solving, strategic thinking, everything you will be able to do it. And this is where you need to be able to figure out that balance. And everybody's balance is different. And for everyone, you will be able to do that if you're using in the right way these AI tools.
Yes, Vasu.
And
Definitely, this balance is very much well explained by you right now. And of course, this is going to help us, like, and all of our developers also, because of course they have been looking forward to these insights from a very long time. And of course, now we have a lot of them. Great. So, absolutely. Now, with the next part, I would like to ask that as you see that instead of humans versus AI, how do you see them working together to get the best outcomes?
yeah, I mean, we should not be looking at this as a humans versus AI or anything like that. Um, Let me ask this question. Actually, I'm like, most of us have mates to do some chores, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when I started my family life, and initially I didn't have maid or anything. We took care of everything ourselves, and then as things got busy, we got a maid. Some things she used to take care for us. Did I ever compete with her saying, "Oh, she's taking away my job"? No, that was time that I was getting as a result of it. There is some cleaning robots which cleans the floors, and then I tidy it up at the end, right? That's how these AI tooling or the co-pilot have to be looked at. It is not a competition. Most of these AI tooling will do all the grunt work, then the strategic decision, the analytical thinking, the final parts. It's the humans who do it. And that's how you should always be using the AI tooling. The best outcomes happen when you treat it as a your partner in making you better. And when you use these things the best possible way, you'll become the best version of yourself. And you should be looking at these AI toolings as some things that are helping you get better and better and better, not as a competition actually. And it is not here to replace you. Never ever actually. That is never ever going to happen. What it will replace is all the mundane tasks, the things that are boring, the busy things, so that it gives you back that time. And that is how we should be able to figure out what is that mundane task that I can actually offload so that I can do the real decision making than just be busy in doing that grunt work. I don't think anybody enjoys doing those things.
Yes, and definitely a healthy, competition is never bad because as from, of course, a versus perspective, it is not that much healthy for us to always consider. But now, if we can also optimize our actions according to the benefits of AI, that's always a great thing to do.
Yep.
All right. So, moving forward to the next one, as you see that with AI taking over the repetitive work, what skills should professionals now focus on to stay relevant?
Oh, there is multiple things actually, a lot of things. Let me give an example.
Sure.
I'm sure we have elderly people in our home, well respected, and then, but they have their way of doing it,
Yes.
isn't it? They have their way of doing it.
Yeah.
If you, I mean, we do our banking through the digital, sitting in our comfort of the home or in our office, sometime at a break, we just do the 1 minute transaction that we need to do.
Yeah.
We don't visit the bank at all. But I see elderly people going to the bank because of their habit. They
Yes.
always go to the bank, do their transactions there, they do their passbook, note down all the transactions that have happened, and they get it printed. This is a habit. And they don't want to
Right.
change. And many people don't want to change. My father-in-law has this habit of going to the bank, and he says, no, I'm not comfortable. But he's wasting a lot of his time, actually. But he's choosing to do it. This is exactly the same as for us as human beings as well. Some people would not want to adopt to
Right.
the changing world, and some adopt to the at the fast pace. And this applies to the developers as well. I have whole experience tenure wise as well as experience wise developers. The junior developers are leaning into this AI world a lot more, using the cursors, GitHub Copilot, exploring, experimenting a lot of things. Senior developers are still to some extent stuck, saying, oh, I want to do myself. Well, you could be a lot more productive. So the way I always see this thing about what we need to do as every human being is we need to, when these new technologies come, we need to be open-minded on understanding how we can leverage that to make ourselves a better version. And this could be in multiple ways actually. The way, personally, what I would always think about is the engineer who is joining the company initially can start to think like 2 to 3 levels, 5 year experienced person, because all the other things can be done by the AI tooling. They can actually think about the corner cases, the usage, high volume transactions, error scenarios, those things. To think about some of those things, it will take experience, and then you get to do those things. But then now, with the tooling and everything, you can always think it. And the same is with the senior engineers. They can start thinking at the higher level on the architecture. If you're a manager, etc., you can actually start thinking about the business outcomes than just the implementations. So the learning that you should start looking at is your next levels, not just the current role, because the current role can be done by the others. The tooling, AI tooling is good enough to do those things, but you still need to do few things. You need to round it up, because ultimately the responsibility is yours to deliver what you need to deliver. But all of this is helping you to deliver that better. Now you got the time, so you do the next role better. That is how you should be. But then absolutely be open. Unless you unlearn what you learned, relearn, and then adapt yourself, you will become a dinosaur. Humans have survived millions of centuries and evolved, and the only trait was because of the learnability. And that same applies even now. If you don't unlearn and relearn as part of the AI, you'll become a dinosaur.
Yes. So rightly said, Vasu. Definitely, because evolving with this evolving AI, definitely our skills and unlearning and relearning all the skills is also very important. Absolutely. So now, with the next shift, I would like to ask you that beyond saving time and money, what's that right way to measure real productivity in this AI era?
This is a very difficult one, actually, but then let me try the way we are trying to do.
Yeah.
The right way to measure productivity, it doesn't change from what you have been measuring, in my opinion. And this is what I have been doing. You do exactly the same thing, but replace the tool.
Yeah.
If you were, like, for example, engineering, and as a product developer,
Yeah.
my main goal is to do add customer value.
Yes.
That does not change whether I'm using AI tooling to make it faster or not. It does not change. But what now we measure is, am I able to deliver this customer value fast?
Yeah.
The time to value, is it becoming better and better? For some other businesses, it could be the increase in the revenues. Are they able to increase the revenues or their profitability? The expense, or they're controlling the expenses. And for different fields, it would be different. But for core product development, software development, am I producing less defects? That could be one very, very easy one. Am I solving things faster? That's another one. And the value, number of features, the product delivery, all these things, standard metrics that you follow are exactly the same. And we are trying to see whether we are improving or not. Okay. And there's a subtle one. Everybody is worried about this as well. Is, are we going to lose our jobs? Because now AI can do most of that work. Yeah, but I mean that is, I'll be honest to tell you guys that you might if you don't start using it, because there will be other people who will be doing better than you, same job at a faster pace. Then you're being very slow. If you're very slow, why would an organization will want you, right? There are others who are doing better than you, right? So I would actually think the productivity measures for an engineering team, value, time to value, should be better and better. That's how it works.
Yes, and definitely adapting accordingly is the best thing we can do. We've been doing that. Humans have been doing that for centuries, and now with AI coming in the picture, this is another way of adapting to this AI-driven world, of course. So, moving ahead, how do you think that companies can make sure that AI helps everyone, not just a select few or the most tech savvy, but everyone?
Yeah. So this is where not many companies do that, but then there are companies which does this very, very well, is to build a culture of learning. That is absolutely mandatory whether AI or not, but with AI, it becomes much, much more. There will be people in each of those companies who are very passionate about these new technologies. There will be laggards who are not into it. But if you build that psychological safety, as well as give them the time and space to learn this new technology and see for themselves. This is one way of doing it, and this is how we are also doing it. We don't restrict anyone, whatever tool they need, we just give them. No questions asked. So you give that freedom to do that, and you build champions, making sure that you are actually encouraging that behavior, because that is another way of showcasing what is the art of possibility. Because AI has changed everything. You can imagine something and then that will happen. With the AI tooling, if you understand how the technology works, you can make it that possible as of today. We have individuals who have learned Python coding, who have learned a lot of scripting, built a lot of web pages, which was not even possible earlier with this thing. And we gave them that space. And that's how I think any organization should be doing. Give them the space, the right tooling, and the right mentorship, and then magic starts to happen.
Yes, some very great perspectives to look forward to, Vasu. I have to say this. Okay, so looking ahead, how do you see AI reshaping work and productivity over the next maybe 3 to 5 years?
5 years is too long. Honestly, in this world of AI, 5 years is way too long. I don't know if everybody realizes it has been less than 3 years since ChatGPT has been launched. That was, I think, November 30 of 2022. So much has changed in this 3 years. So I can't imagine what it will be like 5 years. But I can actually tell you there are two to three things that will happen as the part of this next 3 to 5 years. The first and foremost, there are two aspects. So one is about our own personal thing, and the second thing is about the businesses. In our own personal life, right? I think it's going to be an integral part of every single thing that we do since in our lives, from the time we wake up till we sleep. It's going to be our co-pilot in everything we do. That's how it's going to be. Everything that we do, you name it, it's our choice whether we want to use it or not. That's how it is going to be. In every decision we make, it will assist us. Whether it's a right or wrong and how much you take care of it is up to you, but it will assist us. That's on the personal side. Um, and for those who want to spend their time as a result of it in pursuing their passion or human connectivity, creative imagination, all those things, it will let us do that. The second thing is about the businesses. I think in the next 3 to 5 years, the landscape of the top 5 companies is going to change. Right now, it is the Google, Amazon, Meta, you name it, Microsoft. These are the ones. That landscape is going to change. We will have few new entrants into that space, and we'll have a lot of other companies which are building these AI productive tools for all of us to be more productive. That's what it's going to be. But it is going to be extremely exciting time, and we are very fortunate that we are in this era where this transformation is happening.
Yes,
That's
Vasu.
what I see the world shaping.
Definitely, the world shaping, reshaping according to the skills that we are learning, relearning. And of course, with AI evolving so rapidly, it becomes very important for us also to keep adapting and also keep, reiterating our perspective towards the forward looking approach. All right. So, any advice that you would like to, give to our developer community for, sticking on to this era and also being ready for the future, future, all that it holds for the future?
Unlearn what you know.
Yeah.
Learn the AI tooling. Don't shy away from it. Subscribe to all the subscriptions that you can get, the Cursor, GitHub Copilot, any of the tooling that you can actually get hold of. Don't be worried about the cost that you would be paying, but then learn this tooling. Unless you learn this tooling, you will not be the right candidate to deliver the great enterprise products in this new era. The amount of time, at least I used to take to develop something, versus now, if I had taken 1 month earlier, I can do the same thing probably in 4 hours now. That's how advanced this has become. And if you're not learning these things, then you'll fall behind. You'll absolutely fall behind. And that's not the place that you want to be.
Yes. So amazingly portrayed, and beautifully have put this into words, that how we can actually stick on to this era and also be ready for all that the future holds for us. And definitely, Vasu, your perspectives have been amazing to know. And coming from your, deep expertise in this field is something that is the best part about it.
Thank you.
And finally, wrapping up the session, I would like to ask, what do you think about the Leader Circle program here at TechGig, and what are your views on this initiative?
Well, this is a extremely good platform where you are actually getting the most experienced people, their views, to thousands of the audience, and what they need to do to prepare themselves for the next thing, that the revolution and the changes that are happening in the industry, and bringing them the best content. So I thank you for making that happen. This is part of giving back to the community, and you're providing that platform for some of us. So you're doing a fantastic job. Keep doing it.
Thanks a lot, Vasu. It's always encouraging to hear that it's helping bring industry leaders and the developers together. So, with that, we wrap up this insightful podcast session on AI and the productivity paradox, doing more without leaving people behind. We hope this conversation shed light on how organizations can harness AI to enhance productivity while ensuring inclusivity and human centric growth. A heartfelt thank you to you, Vasu, for sharing such practical insights, strategic frameworks, and forward looking perspectives. Your thoughts have really given us a deeper understanding of how businesses and developers alike can balance efficiency with empathy and innovation with responsibility in the age of AI. It was really a pleasure having you with us, and thank you once again for being a part of this engaging and thought provoking session.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Vasu. This is your host, Khushi, and it was an absolute pleasure hosting this podcast session. Thank you for tuning in and have a great day ahead. Stay tuned for more such conversations from TechGig. Until next time, take care and keep innovating.